Hello again, this is Gerrit from Sports Chaplaincy UK. Simply switch on the television and I think you will agree that we find ourselves in extraordinary times, tumultuous even. I've watched a lot of the news, I've listened to many of the politicians and many others all share their opinions. Should the statues remain or should they be pulled down? So to who do we turn for leadership and guidance in this time? Well, I find myself going to quite a strange place for inspiration, to an elderly lady. She's nearly 90 years old. Some years ago, a young Hell's Angel was dared by his friends to disrupt a church service. Now this young man had his message to the world tattooed on his knuckles. It's a little bit explicit, but this is what he had tattooed. FUCKYOU. That was his message to the world. So with long greasy hair and a short sleeve leather jacket and arms covered in tattoos and enough ironmongery in his face to start a little hardware store, and his message to the world, he walks into this church service on a Sunday morning, straight down the center aisle. A hush falls over the congregation. Almost every eye follows him as he walks down the aisle, right to the front. Unfortunately for him, though, this church allocates certain areas to be welcomed by people as others arrive. And he finds himself in Marge Staples' area. Marge is 87 years old, man. She's been in church for a long time. She can't care anymore whether the carpets are green or blue. She doesn't care less whether the windows are covered with drapes or by curtains. And she certainly doesn't care whether the congregation worships from the little green hymn books or swinging from the chandeliers. She just wants to love people. She's 87 years old, for goodness sake. She's going to be with Jesus any day now. She walks up to this Hell's Angel as she says, "Oh, young man, welcome. It's so good to see you in church today." She gives him an almighty hug and a kiss on the cheek. Some people nearby in the front rows are pretty sure they saw him quickly wipe away a tear. Well, that day, his heart is touched, and he gives his life to the Lord, and he starts attending church quite regularly. And some months later, he's baptized. But as he is baptized, they have to cover his hands with plastic bags because he has raw wounds on his fingers. A consultant plastic surgeon in the congregation gave him an operation to remove the tattoos from his fingers. Frankly, they had to, because the poor kid was insulting people behind him as he was worshipping. I want a heart like that elderly lady. A heart that does not judge people by the state of the hair or the clothes they wear or the number of tattoos on their bodies. A heart that does not judge people by the language they speak or the color of their skin or a dozen other things. She just wanted to see people through the eyes of Jesus. She wanted to love people because she understood that love is much more than a feeling. Love is doing things. Love is patient. Love is kind. And love is not dishonoring others, no matter what our differences are. So in these tumultuous times, worldwide, yes, of course, but also much closer to home, in our own families, with our own relationships, our spouses, our partners, our parents, kids, friends. My wish is that we will all have a heart that loves people, a heart that is kind and a heart that is patient, because that is what love does. It does not dishonor others. I will listen to what the politicians have to say. I will hear the academics out, and I will consider what the theologians think on this. But to be honest, although this is a worldwide matter, the answer begins with me. And I find myself praying a very simple prayer. Dear God, please give me a heart like Marge Staples. Amen. Thank you for listening. God bless.